It seems to me that the NFL has a terrible time trying to figure out who will actually be like the best matchups per week. Why is the Chiefs Bills game not Sunday Night Football, but the Seahawks and Commanders are?
I'm not going to complain because I don't need more Chiefs prime time.
That's
Even
pretty
though
valid.
I don't need to see them again on Sunday night.
We're going to be hearing that's a little Mahomey, a little too much if that happened.
No.
Welcome back to the James and Dame Show. I'm Josiah.
And I'm Will.
We're going to go over the Week 9 preview. There are matches to be had this week. I think we're coming to the point of the season where more teams seem to be more guaranteed to win some matches. It just kind of depends on who you think it is.
Before we get into the games, just looking at some like the standings with where things are in the Pick'em leagues, just because obviously want to give a shout out to the people who do participate and also just love to keep the competition alive. First place, we do have Amber at 82 and 36.
Yeah.
Josiah's there at 80 and 40, and I'm down there at 74 and 46. The best record on the week was a tie between me and Amber at 10 and 3.
Mm-hmm.
So
I picked too many underdogs last week.
one too many.
Point still stands. And now, Ravens-Dolphins on Thursday Night Football. This is going to be either a very ugly game or a really competitive game, only because Lamar Jackson is back, and Tua had a good game last week for some random reason.
Yeah.
I don't elaborate, please. I'm confused. Why is this kind of uncertain? Because
I mean, so obviously Lamar coming back is going to be huge for the Ravens.
Indeed.
The other thing to look at is the Ravens defense has been playing better.
Yes, they've been.
The team in general has been playing better, and that is what is kind of we've been.
You're finding an identity. It took until week 9 or week 8, but
way too long. But they're starting to figure things out, and there's a lot to favorite the Ravens because again, we know like what we expected earlier in the year, and if they can reach that at any point, even though it's like better late than never. But
it's a little unfortunate, but
finding it now, if they can, with that defense stepping up, as long as I think Tua in this Miami offense isn't able to do what they did last week.
Mm-hmm.
So the Ravens generate turnovers or make Tua uncomfortable, do whatever that they need to do to get Tua back to what he's been doing before instead of what he was able to do against the Falcons. It should be a pretty safe win for the Ravens as long as they just don't default back to what their defense looked like early in the year.
Yeah. Just don't do it, please.
Just don't do it.
Don't do it.
I'm going to go with the Baltimore Ravens.
I will also go with the Baltimore Ravens because they seem more reliable, but not by that much at the moment.
They still need to prove some stuff, but
you think?
they got a long road ahead of them. But I think this is a pretty decent spot to at least continue on. Last week against the Bears was a good start, but
it was a start. That is for sure.
Moving on
to the morning slate. The Bears are visiting the Bungles. This is the one game where I'm actually confused on who I want to pick.
I really don't know who to expect or how to expect this game to go. The Bears didn't look great last week.
No.
Caleb had a rough day, but we're also looking on the flip side of the Bengals, who just lost to the Jets, allowed 500 yards, 23 fourth quarter points. You know who would be interesting? The Bengals and the Broncos, who allows a lot of points, a lot of yards, and another who put up 33 points in one fourth quarter. Maybe they could put up 50 in a fourth quarter. Curious.
They probably could.
Curious. But looking at Bears versus Bengals, it's a game where you really expect the Bears, who have looked better most of the season, to kind of come out with a win. Bengals, again, they're at home. Joe Flacco has made the offense look better than at least Jake Browning did, but it's still, you still have the issues on the defensive side of the ball. And at the end of the day, like, this game is going to be big for both. Bears, you're trying to avoid last year, where you went 4-2 and then
Fell off the face of the earth.
lost 10 straight. And you started 4-2 this year, and then you just had a bad loss. You're trying to stop that narrative from continuing and get back into a competitive NFC North. While the Bengals, rough start, but you're trying to stay competitive so Joe Burrow has a reason to come back and make the playoffs in a division that's kind of soft right now.
Yeah.
I mean, they're
It's a little...
they're a game and a half behind the Steelers, and they've not looked good up to this point. So that just goes to show the Bengals, that is, haven't looked good. So
No, they've not. But there's still a promise there if Joe Burrow does come back. But this is not that time. You have to make the decision of actually putting out all your effort onto the field. However, this is one of those games where it literally comes down to who is not going to show up today. I unfortunately don't think the Bengals are going to show up. Like, the Bears also don't either, but the Bears, like you said, are trying to prevent another collapse. So if there is a time to do it, it's now.
I mean,
And they are favorited. I understand that. Pick'em leagues, not so much.
it's close.
It's a close game, so that's why it's harder to pick. I just don't trust the Bengals, and I also don't trust the Bears. So I don't know who to pick, but I feel slightly safer with the Bears right now.
Yeah, I mean, one of the things looking at the Bears is you see this a lot with teams that do this. I almost had a feeling of it, but with organizations that struggle or franchises that struggle. I mean, you see it in college. We're
you see it all the
familiar
time.
with it with Nebraska. Like, comparing
Yes.
it to Nebraska, these teams that you have a good start, and then the moment you start to lose traction, you go, oh no, here we go again, and you can't
Let that happen.
It's about, a lot of it's about mindset.
It is a
And,
mindset thing. That's why when we did win our sixth game this last weekend, we were like, okay, we didn't do what we did normally, which is good.
It's a culture shift, which is very tough to do, because you can change the way that you play, you can change the players, but if you can't change that culture, that mindset will remain. Mm-hmm. It doesn't matter how much you switch everything out. Now, the question is, can Ben Johnson be that change? Has he done enough to change that culture to
He has.
prevent that sort of?
I think he has the best shot.
Because
He has
again,
the best shot.
I've put a lot of faith in Ben Johnson to kind of actually be able to turn this team around. It was a rocky start at the beginning of the year, but the way they've looked, it looks like they potentially do have the discipline they need to win these games, and it's not riding on one piece in particular. It's just they're playing pretty solid football.
Yeah.
It's going to be tough because, again, high flying offense with a not great defense. You might have to, your defense is either going to have to step up really big, or you might end up in a shootout. And the latter option does not really favor the Bears.
No, because the Bengals have freaking Jamar Chase, T. Higgins, and all those players. So you wanna keep them away from the end zone as much as possible.
Yeah, it's going to be. This is we find the Bears like back-to-back weeks in a you have something to prove game against their opponent too, like their opponent who also has something to prove. Because like approaching the trade deadline, one of these Bengals, if they lose here, might have to look to sell. We don't know, and
Yeah.
I don't have a lot of faith in that, but it's a lot on the line. But I like Ben Johnson to keep that mentality in a positive state and not get too caught up in things. So I am going to ride with the Bears this week.
All right, the Bears, you have a lot of pressure on you now. So this one's not as hard.
Yeah, Vikings visiting the Lions. Vikings, we know they have upside, but they've not looked great. They've looked
No.
like kind of a middle of the road team.
Yeah.
We are going to see JJ McCarthy return.
And that's my biggest concern, is that you're returning and facing probably a top 3 team in the NFL right now.
Yes, but
But
not returning, but a similar narrative. We did see this a few weeks ago when the Giants decided to put in Jackson Dart against the Chargers, and who at the time looked like a top 3 team. And Jackson Dart went out and changed the Giants for the better by a landslide.
I don't know.
It's
It's rare that it happens, so I'm
It-
not entirely jumping on this Viking
rare.
ship right now.
this Vikings team, they have holes, and
They have a lot of holes.
I think it's similar to kind of the holes they had last year. I think the team just hasn't been able to come out on the winning side of things as often. But the Lions team, they're looking a lot like they're looking.
Good.
It seems very similar to last year, except for the Vikings record. But looking at the way that these games have gone so far, I am going to favor the Lions just because they've been consistent and we know what we're getting out of that team. JJ McCarthy, he's been a toss-up, but he's only played in 2 games.
Yeah.
So that's his whole career. We'll have to see if he can even stay healthy, but the Vikings right now just are not consistent enough. And Lions, they've, as long as they're not going against a really good team, have been pretty dominant.
Yes. This is true.
Also playing at home, which helps a lot.
Helps a lot, yes.
I'm going to go with the Lions.
Okay. I will also go with the Lions because, yeah, top 3 team. I don't expect them to lose.
Moving on to the
Or-
Panthers visiting the Packers.
You have become a sacrifice for their Super Bowl road to victory.
Yeah, it's not going to be easy. You got a November game in Green Bay.
Oh, yeah, those poor Panthers have no idea what they're walking into.
Yeah, and like right now, Bryce Young is
Out.
questionable
Questionable
for this
I
game.
guess.
If he's
If he's
honestly-
out, it's you just say goodbye to chances to win this game.
Panthers haven't played well on the road, or at least Bryce Young has not played well on the road in his
No.
career either way. So, like, with this being a road game against the Packers, I almost wonder if your chances would be better with Andy Dalton. But even
then-
if your chances are better with Andy Dalton, then I'm not putting much faith in the Panthers right now. So, Packers. We saw some concerns with the way they played the first half against the Steelers, just not playing complete football and really putting themselves behind the ball. But if they can play that second half and continue that all year, you are looking at a team that is absolutely worthy of the Super Bowl conversation. But as of right now, I have no reason to go against the Packers with at least the disparity in like talent at least.
At the very least.
And we're also going to start seeing the Packers do what they usually do, which is play well in the later season.
Yay.
Packers roll.
The LA Chargers visiting the Titans. This should be an easy win.
Should be.
Should be. You have Khalil Mack and Joel Alt back.
Yeah, and that's going to be a big piece for them. Honestly,
I'm expecting a pretty solid win right here for the Chargers.
yeah. Chargers. I mean, they're still missing. They're still missing pieces. I think they lost Derwin James last week, and
Yes.
you're still missing some offensive line pieces too. But
Having Joel Alt there makes a huge difference already.
Joel,
so.
he is a big contributor. Obviously, we're still looking at Marion Hampton, who is still on IR. He should be back in the coming weeks, but they might get some guys back. But running back room is still going to be Vidal for the most part. They might have Haskins back as well.
Yeah, I forgot about Haskins. Yeah.
But is like Khalil Mack again, major contributor. He's going to be hopefully a really good piece against this Titans team that has struggled to keep Cam Ward safe. And I think this game is mostly going to be one, how much back to form are the Chargers, and two, for the Titans, hey, trade deadline's coming up. Look at this player. Look how well he can play. You want to give us picks for him.
Yeah. Pretty much.
It's a good opportunity for a team like the Titans to put on a show for pieces they're looking to sell, which Titans have come out and said that they're not going to trade Cam Ward, obviously, or Jeffrey Simmons are the two pieces they're not looking to, but they got some pieces they will look to. They're open to getting rid of. So
there's some things to consider.
Titans, again, like all year, they're looking to just have some flash, not necessarily look like they're trying to flood.
They're just there to showcase their skill. That's about
Potential,
it.
really.
Your potential skill, and they're just not doing a whole lot right now. I mean, they're not. Their goal is not to win this year. It's just to advertise.
Yeah, it's get a feeling for things going forward. So yeah, I am going to go with the Chargers because
Chargers.
While they haven't been the same team they were earlier in the year, they look like they might be getting back to it. Mm-hmm. And we'll have to see how in full swing they are. Moving along, we have the Falcons visiting the Patriots. Falcons are the Falcons. You can't trust them.
No.
And even when they were on their upside, I was like, can you really trust them?
Can you really trust them?
The answer is never. Not at least with this staff that they have.
No. And the thing is that I don't trust them by not trusting them to do something right. Because, when you're looking at this game, there are going to be people who are like, oh, Falcons are going to get the upset because Falcons are inconsistent. I don't trust them to be inconsistent either. I don't trust them to do anything at all.
I trust you to be inconsistently inconsistent.
They're hard to read. I don't know how to put it simply.
Honestly, I need to look back at the Falcons and look at some trends because I remember I need to see if there's a trend there. I what was it last year or was it 2 years ago with the Cardinals being underdogs they would win? Or was it?
Yeah, they would win every single time that they were
underdogs
in betting.
Yeah, I have to look back because that's kind of almost what it feels like is anytime we feel like they can win a game, they lose.
But every time they should lose a game, they win the game.
Falcons, it's the fact that they have the potential to win a game like this.
Yeah. And I don't know. I wouldn't be surprised if there's some random upset and this would be one of them. But I'm still rocking with the Patriots because I don't trust the Falcons whatsoever to do anything I expect them to do.
The Falcons not trustworthy. We might not even see Michael Penix back, so we might see Kirk Cousins again.
Which is another thing.
But it's going to be just how well can Bijan Robinson do? That's one of the main pieces. Is if they can get him going, he's going
Yeah.
to be big. But
If they even can.
it's also the fact that you look at this Patriots team that has been. I mean, Drake May is playing very well. He's elevating the guys around him, and they're just performing at a high level. But also, Patriots are just a well-coached team,
They are a very well coached team.
and
Not as talented as other teams, but they are very well coached.
yeah, I mean, and again, that's a lot of it is they're kind of winning based off of the fact that they're well-coached, and Drake May has been able to elevate his players,
Yeah, and that's
and sometimes that's all you need.
yeah.
And you need someone to come along and basically outcoach those sort of teams, which is why that's why I think they won last week. Is Browns easily could have been a trap game with a really strong defense,
Easily.
but I think coaching was just there, and that's what kept them on the winning side of that game. And I kind of see that here with the Falcons, where Falcons, I mean, yeah, we've seen them beat the Bills, but this is not. It's a different game, and I like the Patriots.
We have the 49ers visiting the Giants. Giants are without Scatterboo and Neighbors. It's not looking too great for the Giants. Even then, I don't think they have enough pieces to even stop Christian McCaffrey. So this is not really hard for me to decide who wins. 49ers are probably winning by at least like 10 at the
Yeah,
very least.
I'm curious what we see here out of the 49ers, because last week they didn't look good. It was
No.
rough. Defense had a bad time. Offense wasn't able to get much going. Wasn't able to get really anything going other than Christian McCaffrey, and even then took him a little bit to really get going. But he was the main proprietor on that offense. Other interesting thing, Brock Purdy, we might see come back.
Yeah, and that's even
But-
if he doesn't show up, you still have a great run game. That's all you need.
But like, if you don't have Brock Purdy, Mac Jones is also questionable. So it's kind of who do we see out there, and how does this offense work? It's it's not a great matchup, and
No.
Giants. I think the Giants might have enough to make this an interesting game, especially the way Jackson Dart's been playing. It's both teams have a lot of holes.
Yes.
Giants haven't been able to finish a lot of games, but this game is also a home game for the Giants, and that is also a long ways away from San Francisco. So
Quite
I'm
big.
actually going to look at the Giants here as an upset,
Okay.
just because I mean, if you look at it from a narrative aspect, it it seems like it would go against all odds, which it kind of does. But
Kind of does, but
Giants could also play angry here.
they
And
could.
you lose Scatterboo, who has been such a big piece for them. But I mean, obviously, they have pieces we know have been able to perform. Tracy's still there; he was pretty good last year, and Singletary's still there. They do have to stop CMC, but if they can do that, I think if they can at least limit him, I think the Giants have a chance to stay in this game and even maybe pull off an upset against a San Fran team that you've said several times is way overperforming with the injuries they have.
Now we have probably one of the biggest games of the week. Yeah, the Colts visiting the Steelers right now.
Definitely one of. Yeah, this one. Right now, I love the Colts so much as a team. It's so hard for me to even say anything to go against them. They've been averaging over 30 points a game against the Steelers team, who's let up at least 30 points a game in back-to-back weeks.
Yeah, and that was going to be the major point of what I was going to make, is that if you can't stop, like, they could barely stop the pass game against the Packers. They were able to contain Josh Jacobs for most of the game until the end. How well are they going to stop the top running back in the league? Like, it doesn't look very promising. And if your line is already struggling to stop Josh Jacobs, I'm sorry, you're probably not going to win this game. It's probably going to be a very highly contested game because you know how the Steelers play at home.
Yeah,
for the most part. So I'm expecting a Colts win, but I'm not expecting a quiet game from the Steelers either. I think they will compete for most of it, and then the end just kind of they step off the gas. But I don't expect anything too crazy.
Yeah, the Steelers have done pretty good against run games, for the most part. So if they can give Jonathan Taylor a quieter day, which even for him is like at least 70 yards.
Yeah,
he's like 80, 90 and no touchdowns is a quiet day for him. You have to be able to get to Daniel Jones as well. And he's been playing well. He's been playing safe. He's playing efficient. He's just performing very well. But if you take away that run game, how much can you throw off Daniel Jones? Because he gets to lean on a good run game. If you can mitigate that a little bit, maybe they'll be able to slow down that offense in general. I could see the Colts scoring under 30, which doesn't seem like a thing, but would be a big accomplishment for the Steelers. I have a hard time seeing the Steelers getting over 20 in this one though. Like this seems like just it's things trending in the wrong direction for the Steelers, and this is the kind of game, at least in years past, we would see them. This would be the loss that starts to like give warning signs for them.
Yep.
And so I'm gonna go Colts here just because it's the Colts right now.
Yeah.
Looking ahead to the last of the early window games, we have the Broncos visiting the Texans. Texans, we actually saw their offense do something last week.
Yeah. Which is abnormal. I don't know how I feel about it still.
They are.
However,
you're going against the Broncos.
Yeah, especially with the clinic they put up against the Cowboys this last week, with their offense as good as it is. I'm sorry. You don't really have much of a chance in my opinion.
Have one of the most disruptive defenses going against still one of the probably weakest O-lines in the league. CJ Stroud, he may have had some time last week. He's not going to have that this week.
No.
This Broncos defense, I believe, is still even leading in sacks.
They are still leading.
Texans maybe have started to find a run game, but
even then, it's not going to be enough to stop it.
And that's just focusing on the one side. Yes, Texans defense is good, but Bo Nix and that offense have really started to hit a stride.
Yes, it took them a bit, but they still got to a point where they can confidently say that, yeah, we're going to put points up on the board, and we've got players that can make the big plays. It just took them until week 7 and 8, but it works, so I'm not going to complain about that.
Yeah, if they can keep the offense rolling and do what that defense has done so well against a struggling Texans, at least O-line, and just put the pressure to CJ Stroud.
Yeah.
I really like the Denver Broncos in this one.
Me too.
Getting to that afternoon slate.
Or that later afternoon slate. Jaguars facing the Raiders. This should be a win for the Jaguars, but you're going into Las Vegas.
Ooh.
The black hole.
Yeah, Vegas. I don't think it's been working well for Pete Carroll. I don't think Geno Smith's been the guy there, and unless you see a switch there, I don't really see this being a great. It's going to obviously depend on that Raiders defense, what they can do, because that's kind of been the key to victory for them before. But the Jaguars, they've not been able to establish the run the past few games, and that's kind of what has tripped them up. If they can get back to that, they have the pieces to make this a very easy game for them.
Oh, very much so.
And also getting that defense back to the form they were earlier, because they were also a really good defense earlier this year, but we've missed some of that as well. They need to step it up and get back to form. And so, Jaguars, I'm going to go with the Jaguars because they they should be able to do it against a Raiders team that's, again, been struggling this year. But you got to deliver on some fronts. So,
yeah. The New Orleans Saints are traveling all the way to Los Angeles to face the Rams. Rest in peace, New Orleans Saints. You will be missed by the few fans that are still in attendance.
Yeah, this one's just not good.
This is brutal. Like I don't. This is no like. I know the Jets upset over the Bengals was something, but this isn't like they beat the Rams kind of situation. This is they beat a middle of the pack, maybe middle of the pack Bengals.
Yeah,
and you're asking the Saints to beat the Rams, who are probably one of the best teams in the league.
Yeah.
Good luck.
That offense, it just doesn't spark a lot of confidence. You're putting Shook in, which is a move.
It is the move.
I get that the Rattler wasn't winning you games, but
he at least made it more.
He was able to utilize the offense.
Yeah, he
and
was at least exciting when it came to passing.
Shook just seems so
bland. He's pretty bland. I'm not gonna lie.
And if you're the Saints, you're hoping to like.
You better hope that this isn't as bad as it should be.
Oh, I expect the Rams to be able to pull this one out by a bit, and that's just I don't see it being a good week for the Saints. If anything, I said the Saints that the Titans might be doing this, but the Saints absolutely are going, hey, we're going to try and make our decent pieces that maybe could get us some value. We're going to try and show them off and try and see if we can work some trades, because I know the Saints are trying to get some capital. Like
they definitely are.
That's all that they can take away from this is, hey, we lost by 30, but Chris Olave with that catch should come and get him.
Yeah.
Like
we're not going to use him very well, so you should use him.
But look what he can do. So, yeah, I'm going to pick Rams. Matthew Stafford's been playing well. That offense is hitting a new stride with Adams getting incorporated more. And defense might even be pass defense might be a little bit better with the addition of Roger McCreary from the Titans. So, we'll have to see. But Rams.
Yeah. We got Chiefs visiting the Bills. Bills have always most of the time I've always beat the Chiefs in the regular season, but can never do it in the postseason.
Never when it matters.
Never when it matters. So I'm expecting them to win this one and then, again, losing in the playoffs to the Chiefs. Because it's just the same script recycle every single year. They can't beat the Chiefs. I saw somewhere, if it wasn't for the Chiefs, the Bills would have at least multiple Super Bowls by now.
It's very possible.
Yeah, especially with how close they've been several times.
I mean, we can say that, but we if you know history, they've made it 4 straight times and lost
I know, that's
all
what I'm
of them.
saying.
But
they should have made it a couple times.
Oh, they absolutely could have made it. But to say that they would have won those that's a leap. Just with, again, Bills history.
This is not the 90s, unfortunately. But yeah, so I'm expecting the Bills to win this one. It's not going to be pretty, but it's going to be a win.
I'm looking at this game, and this one might be a fun one because
it should be a fun one.
Chiefs are looking back at this isn't the Chiefs from last year where it was
underwhelming.
What they were
barely winning
14 or 15 and 0 in 1-point games or 1-score games.
They were undefeated in 1-score games,
which was just annoying. But it wasn't super convinced. Now it's this offense is playing very well. The defense is performing well. But we also see the Bills, who are maybe prior to their skid, were maybe the best they've ever been. But obviously had their drawbacks. But last week maybe sparks a little bit of confidence that might be back on track. Mm-hmm. And so this might be not to hype it up too much, but this might be the best Bills team we've seen with Josh Allen going against the Chiefs team of what they used to be a few years ago, where they were just a very good team and not just kind of having those like squeaking by wins, but like an actually exciting Chiefs team.
Yeah.
And
these teams should battle it out, and I'm expecting a good game.
This could be a fun one for sure. But I will say, I mean, you mentioned it with like the way the script usually goes. The Bills do have a better record in the regular season. Bills are at home, and I also just like the Bills give me more. I have more faith in the Bills the way they've played so far this year. Obviously, again, as long as they're not shooting themselves in the foot, which is if they get that and can address the run game, which Chiefs don't have the strongest run game. They have been much better in the pass game, which the Bills have been much better against the pass game as well. So I think they match up pretty well if they can get James Cook going again, like they did last week, and they've done most of their dominant wins. They should be in a good spot. And again, don't count out Josh Allen against Patrick Mahomes, especially in the regular season, because as we saw last year, he had a pretty good game. So I'm gonna ride Bills. But this one is kind of a toss up. But we got two powerhouses.
It should be fun.
On to Sunday Night Football, we get to see the Seattle Seahawks visiting the Washington Commanders.
If Jaden Daniels is playing.
Jaden Daniels, I believe. So, I mean, obviously they're still going to have Mariota as a potential piece. But yeah, as right now he's listed as questionable.
It's better than no.
Yeah, it is still a little early in the week, but from what I can see, I would say he's pretty likely to play.
Yeah.
I would say he's very likely to play. The question is, how much is that going to make a difference? Obviously, I think it'll make it a closer game, but
Oh, for sure.
I mean, I don't think we've seen either of these teams Sunday Night Football this year, and so Seahawks. Things are always different in primetime, but Commanders, they just haven't sparked enough confidence with their consistency. Seahawks have been pretty good. Now I know with what we normally see out of the Seahawks and what we've seen a little bit last year, at least from the Commanders, this could be a turning point for both teams where Seahawks start to stumble a little bit and get a little bit back to mediocrity while the Commanders do enough to keep themselves in the hunt. And they will absolutely need it with a competitive NFC.
Indeed.
But I just like the way the Seahawks have been playing. They're coming off a bye, while the Commanders, you're getting a little healthier, that's for sure. But you've just not, especially that defense, has not played to the level that they've needed to win these games, and they're still kind of a step behind where they're at best a wild card team.
At best, yeah. Yeah, I mean, I feel more confident in what the Seahawks could possibly do this game, especially with the question of Jaden Daniels actually playing this game. Also, Sam Darnold, I think he's turned a new leaf. He's been a more consistent quarterback. He's been more reliable as a passer and a decision maker. So I'm picking the Seattle Seahawks for this game. It can be a pretty competitive game depending on how it turns out, but I still think the Seahawks win regardless.
Monday night, we get the Cardinals visiting the Cowboys. And
they're going to lose this again. Not the Cowboys. The Cardinals are going to lose this again.
Cowboys
doing the
offense is still really good. Obviously, they've shown some weaknesses, but that they're still a high-flying offense. While the Cardinals, I mean, they had a bye, so maybe they'll be able to find some semblance of getting things together. But
you're visiting Jerry World. You're not expected to win there.
Yeah, it's just
is
Kyler.
Yeah, is Kyler back yet?
I believe he's still questionable from what I saw, but even with Kyler in there, it'll give him a better chance. But Kyler has to play at that superstar level that we haven't seen from him in a little while.
For years at the very least.
So that's the level they're needing to step up to, because that defense will have to be, first of all, defensive line has to be very disruptive. Because we've seen that work against Dak, but if that doesn't happen, if you can't get disruptive, he's going to have a field day.
Yes.
And I don't have that faith in the Cardinals right now. While the offense, I also just don't have the faith of them keeping up with the Cowboys in a shootout. So I'm going to go with the Cowboys here.
I am also going with the Cowboys. There's no way that they're going to be able to keep up with these guys because, no offense to y'all, but no.
Yeah.
You guys are not convincing whatsoever.
This one feels, maybe it's just me, but this one feels like an ugly one.
It's going to be an ugly win, yeah. But
I mean, ugly as in, might be a blowout.
Oh, yeah.
Might be a blowout.
It might be a blowout, yeah. It's probably going to be, unfortunately.
This week's going to determine a lot of those buying and selling teams.
Come buy these players.
Yeah.
We need money.
Thank you for joining us. Obviously, the aforementioned Pick'em League, which is where we make all of our picks, will be open to anyone who would like to join. Link in the description.
Join us.
Yes, come prove that you're better than us.
This is not a request. This is a demand.
And I appreciate all of you for joining us, and we hope to see you next time.
Be better. See ya.